The rash on your fingertips. Super E-gasp! That rash is from the resin allergy. In other words, it's from when you use the UV resin to reproduce your wife's necklace. Truth revealed. You're kind of making it sound like you only picked me because process of elimination. That's a little disappointing. Spit it out. What exactly was your problem with the actress? Oh, well, how do I put it? She's my little sister. Huh? Your little sister? Yeah, Isogami probably didn't notice because her stage name, but she's my little sister. Oh yeah, it would be kind of awkward to film a TV drama together, huh? Because remember, we got the email note that said she was going to be in town, too. That's kind of like your other hint. It's nothing alike. If anything, I keep men waiting. Let's just leave it at that, okay? It's okay, I'll wait for Manabe. I mean, she a baddie. I'm not gonna lie, Manabe's a baddie, dude. I'm a shuckler for like mature women in glasses. You know what I mean? You're leaving? Don't worry, I'm still in Shimane for a while. I'll stay in touch. Kotsaku gathers his things and gets up from his seat. Take care, Dad. Based on that footage, the police concluded that this was caused by drunken driving. We'll have to wait for the autopsy report. But judging by past cases... Drunken driving? No! That can't be! No! No! Dad! Until Mei inevitably calmed down, her screams and sobs echoed across the Nakayumi wharf. And as she did, Riho said nothing. She simply embraces her slender form wordlessly. Alright. Well, to me, I feel like we should start with the scene of the crime. That makes the most sense. There's no reason to freaking, you know what I mean, go anywhere else. Let's start gathering the clues. Let's see if the detective will actually work with us. Unlike Misawa. Yep, come again. Shut the fuck up, bitch, and give me those tapes, motherfucker. I will tornado kick your ass into your grave if you don't give me those tapes, boy. The police investigation on Nakaumi. I think it's supposed to be. I keep saying like Nakanumi. I think Nakaumi docks is still ongoing. The autopsy likely hadn't been done yet, since the body was still covered by a blue sheet. Well, will you help us on your investigation, brother? Oh, you two again. Do you need something? When's the autopsy set to take place? There's a lot of red tape to take care of, and it'd take a week at the latest. Consider yourselves lucky if it only takes that long, though. So you can't really know if he was driving drunk until you do that, huh? We're fairly confident that's what happened. It's hard to imagine otherwise, given how wildly he was driving. The driver recorder proves that. We're confident that there was no way he was driving drunk. Oh? And what do you base that confidence on? His daughter, Mei, insists that Kosaku wasn't a person who would do that. So, I believe her. I see. If it's just to figure out if he was drunk, we don't need an autopsy. We just need to check his blood alcohol level. We can do that today. We already collected blood samples from the body and asked forensics to run a test. Really? Yes. I just hope the result doesn't end up causing you any more heartbreak to his daughter, Mei. Or to you. Hey, who's that person over there? Manabe says while eyeing the area around the blue sheet suspiciously. Rio follows her gaze only to find her looking at a woman clad in traditional Japanese clothes. She looked quite out of place. As the woman walked away from the blue sheet briskly and addressed Mana. See, like, I feel like that's like some sort of run-on, you know? It just, yeah, it feels kind of run on. Like, it should have almost been separated into two sentences. Like, as the woman walked away from the blue sheet, briskly, maybe like semicolon, she addressed Manabe. Oh, she addressed Mamba. I said Manabe. She addressed Mamba. I don't know. You get my point. Like, I don't know. Some of these sentences just seem kind of... It wouldn't be the way that I would phrase it, so I have a hard time reading in that regard. Yes, this is certainly my brother, Kosaku. Yes, I see. Yes, we're grateful you went to the trouble of coming over to confirm it for us. Yes, it certainly was a bother. He may have been my brother, but he's no longer part of the Kodashiro family. I very much want nothing to do with him. I see. That's quite right, but if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a bit more about him. Is this supposed to be compulsory? In which case, I'd like to see a warrant. No, I mean willingly, of course. At your leisure. I apologize, but I'm a bit agitated since our family head, Higo-Seimon, passed away. But I have a meeting later today regarding the funeral in Fumunian, so I'll have to decline. I see. Well, some other time then. Thank you for your cooperation. Mambe saluted as the woman walked off, paying him no heed. Whoa, who was that lady? She's scary. She said Katsuku was her brother, so I'd assume she's from the Kodashiro family. She mentioned going to Fumonin. Is that Fumonin? She mentioned going to Fumonin, so we might want to catch up to her and ask her a few questions. I'm no good with old ladies like her. I feel like she'll just get mad at us if we walk up to her. Weren't you going to look into this for May? Well, yeah, but... I'm already giving up. I give up. Apparently the car had been pulled out of the water and is now being torn down by the crane. There's seaweed coiled around the car's frame, which had apparently clung to the car underwater. The car itself doesn't seem to be damaged, from the looks of it, so it's not like something rammed the car and sent it plummeting into the water. So why? So it naturally, so whoever was in it either, did one of those like GTA, like step on the gas, jump out the car, fling it into the water. Or I guess you could put like the brick on the gas pedal and send it into the water. Or whoever was driving intentionally drove into the water. Those are the two options. Is there anything else I can do here? I guess maybe talk to the detective more. Apparently the car's been coiled on. There's seaweed coiled around it. Okay. So why? Alright, the detective's got something else, right? There's something I'd like to confirm. Have you pinpointed the time the car had sunk? Yes, the driver recorder was unharmed, thankfully. He reached the wharf at roughly 8:40 p.m. and parked the car for a while. Probably wanted to breathe some night air or something. And after that, at 9:30 p.m., he started the car again and suddenly started driving erratically, before eventually driving himself into the wharf, or off the wharf. So it's at 9:30, but wait, I just realized Riho gets synesthesia. As soon as Mamba says that, Riho feels the view before her eyes distort as his words act out in her mind's eye. Riho knew this feeling, synesthesia, a unique sensation said as she and her family experience at times. This sensation, these words, I have to remember them. Synesthesia acquired! Of course, because she's the main character, she has to have synesthesia. How else will we remember phrases that we need? So then, wait, what's her detective, confrontation, thing called? Because Max mode makes sense, because obviously it's Director Max. Is it just going to be called, Riho mode or something? There's something weird that it doesn't really roll out off the tongue, as Max mode does, So he arrived here at 8:40, which means he came here right after he left us. What do you mean by that? Were you with him shortly before the incident happened? Yes, actually. We literally had dinner with him. Dinner. Oh. I see. So he drank while he was dining with you, and came here because someone called him over. The car was likely parked between 8:40 and 9:30 because he was speaking to whoever called him. He drank while dining with us? He drank while dining with us? Did he, though? Kosaku ordered a drink, but I don't exactly remember which one. He didn't. I remember it was non-alcoholic. He ordered the... God damn it, so do we have to go back to the restaurant? I think it was called the, like, Pear Banquet, or the Bear Banquet. Was it Bear Banquet or Pear Banquet? It was something, it was Pear or Bear Banquet is what he ordered. And he specifically ordered non-alcoholic. Damn, they're really gonna make me go back to the restaurant just to, like, fucking confirm that he didn't order anything alcoholic. I already know he didn't order anything alcoholic. I remember! The numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted. Well, no matter. Thank you for this precious bit of information. The question of who called him is concerning, but if they spoke to him over the phone, we can just check the call history. Yeah, the question who he met with feels important. Kosaku really did act strange back then. Well, I'm assuming because we got the clue here, that's everything we should do here. Usually it's one clue per, like, location. Usually. Unless it's like a back-to-back twofer, you know what I mean? A twofer? Alright, we should probably catch up with his Kosaku's sister. Ryo and Manabe arrive in Fumonian. They cross the magnificent temple gate and reach the main temple. It is built with an impressive tilted roof style. Suddenly the sound of cussing, quite inappropriate for the temple's grounds, reaches Ryo's ears. You cussing at me? No, you cussing at me. What the cuss are you talking about? Oh, man. Fantastic Mr. Fox is such a good movie. I highly recommend it. And it's a very unique movie because it's like puppet animation, you know? It's like claymation style, you know? I wouldn't... not necessarily claymation. Well, I guess, yeah, a little bit claymation, but more, I guess, like... You get my point. It's like that, I don't know what I'm trying to think. I was going to try and, like, name a movie that kind of uses a symbol, but you get my point when I say claymation. But it's unique. It's really funny, too. But, yeah. So, like, throughout the movie, instead of actually swearing, they just say cuss. So, like, you cussing at me? What the cuss is going on here? Yeah. So, it's just really funny. I like that. I like that, like, substitute instead of actually, like, swearing. Huh? What was that? I can't imagine someone having an argument at a place like this, but... Ryo and Manabe hide in the shadows, looking ahead as the shouting didn't seem to be down any. They see a stern-faced man clad in traditional clothes, scolding and shouting at a young man. I'm guessing this is the man. You miserable wretch! You drag my name through the mud again? I mean, are these... God, these main characters, man... Oh, shit, we're learning so many new characters. I don't know what to do! Whoa! My apologies, but the payment I've given for the ritual fits the sum Lady Ryoko specified. Do not talk back to me! I am saying you are shaming me, the future head of the family! Gah! The middle-aged man kicks the younger man in the stomach, prompting him to bend over and bend over, his face contorting in pain. Ryo, who was watching this take place, almost burst out of her hiding spot when... Hey, stop that, Uncle Seiji! If you're really gonna be the head of the Koshiro family, how about you act like a decent adult? The man Ayane called Uncle Seiji walks off with a scoff, perhaps put off by her sharp glare. God, are you alright, Kazuha? I'm fine. Thank you, young lady. Don't strain yourself. Just rest here for a while, alright? Yes. Ryo whispers to Manabe as she watches over the scene. What do you think? Is he Ayane's boyfriend? He called her young lady, so it sounds like he's her servant or employee. But somehow it feels more than just that. What should we do then? probably pretend we don't recognize her and approach them. Yeah, let's do that. Rio and Manabe nod at each other, stepped out of the shadows, and approached the two inconspicuously. Huh? Wait, didn't we see you at the restaurant last night? What a coincidence! I can't say I expected to see you here again. Ah! Rio greets and engages her in small talk for a while. Wow, so you're the Kodashiro family's butler, Kazuha. He's attentive, kind, and a hard worker. And despite that, never mind. Forget it. She must mean that, she must mean that Uncle Seiji. Oh, by the way, I've heard about Uncle Kotsaku. How's May? She's, not taking it too well. Right. Makes sense. Her dad did just pass away all of a sudden. Well, I only just met her, so I don't really feel like she's my cousin, but tell her that I said not to be too bummed over this too much and cheer her up. And if she needs someone to talk to, I'm willing to lend an ear. All right, thanks. I'll let her know you said that. Let's get a load of this feller. Kazuha, they say. You're the butler of this joint. I didn't know butlers got to wear, like, you know, boy band clothes, you know what I'm saying? So it looks like you're like the lead singer of Big Time Rush, you know what I'm saying? Go and shake it up, what you got to lose. If you wanna live the life you choose. If you blow it up, lay it on the line. It's the only life you got, so you gotta live it big time. Whoa, slow down. What's with the Big Time Rush? Oh, I freaking miss mine, man. This shit was good. But wow, seeing a butler is unusual nowadays, especially the fact that your family's been serving the Kodashiro for generations. Well, that's mostly because the Kodashiro house is a well-known family in Matsui. They were once a warrior clan said to worship and be under the protection of the long name I don't care about. Text dating back to the Kamakura period tells as much. The Kamakura period? That's the one that started at 1192, right? The Make Japan Great Again one. Yeah, that's right. But really, doesn't feel real. Uncle Kotsaku should have come over to visit us today. So Kotsaku really did come back to Shimane to visit the Kodashiro family. Yeah, my grandpa, the old head of the family, passed away recently, but they still have to discuss who the next head of the family will be. Well, Uncle Kotsaku was an elder son, but he married into another family, which means Uncle Seiji is automatically set to be the next heir. Automatically set to be the next heir. That's a clue. All right, so I'm starting to see some family issue involved. Yeah, I'm starting to think one of the family member. There's a potential motive for a family member trying to murder Kotsaku. I see. Which means that Uncle Seiji has a good enough motive to kill Kotsaku. Yep, exactly my thought, Rio. We're on the same page. We're literally 2 pages in the same damn book. But, I mean, you're probably on page 1 and I'm page, like, 345 because I don't really matter. But, anywho. Actually, you're probably more like the back of the book because, like, you're important, you know? Or the front cover of the book. And I'm kind of like the page. I'm like the index, you know what I mean? Like, nobody ever fucking reads the index. Anywho, I mean, we did get our clue. Is there any... By the way, what are you two doing here? Oh, we came over to talk to Ryoko. Huh? How do you know my mom? She was called to the scene to identify Kotsaku's body, and we did meet her there. Oh, so that's what happened. So you wanted to ask her if she knows anything about my Uncle Kotsaku, how my Uncle Kotsaku died, huh? Yes, something like that. She said that she'd be going to Fumonin back then. Then you're a little too late. She just went back home. If you really want to talk to her, stop by my house. It's not far from here. I think we will. Can you give us the address? Sure, it's... And she writes down an actual address. Rio writes down an address. Rio writes down the address Ayane gives her. Now we can go ask the Kodashiro family some questions. I should speak to that Seiji guy later, too. Anyway, it's about time we leave. Yes. We don't want to be late. They appear to have some kind of appointment. The two bid Rio farewell and walk off together. Okay, at least we have potential motive for this murder, but... There's also I was going to say, like, with Danganronpa, it's like, you could always guarantee that the first person that everyone suspects is not the correct answer. Like, not the one that's, like, actually committed the murder. That's usually how the games, go about their stuff. But, like, I kind of have, like, a hint of it here as well. Like, whatever is kind of, like, the associated, like, hey, this is the answer is not the right one. Because it happened in Kuramochi's, like, case, where, like, originally everyone was like, oh, it's just a lover suicide. They just killed themselves, yada, yada, yada. But then, like, later you uncover a few more clues, and it's like, oh, no, Kuramochi and Ito, or Saikyo Ito, were, like, in cahoots. You know what I mean? They were in cahoots together. And it was actual murder. I mean, I did it, like, at the very start of it, I suspected murder. I mean, the way, like, who the hell kills themselves with chlorine gas? I'll keep it a buck with you. Like, if I was actually going to commit suicide, like, I would make sure that it's done and over with. Like, I would literally get a gun and shoot myself in the head. Like, I'm not taking my chances. Like, I am gonna go out the quickest and least painful way. So, like, I don't know, like, gassing yourself, setting yourself on fire, like, that does not seem like normal and, I guess, good ways to do it. I mean, shit, who knows? You may be able to survive burning alive. Why would you run the risk of, like, literally destroying your entire body and potentially not even killing yourself? Because then if you survive it and someone finds you, well, it's like, now you're going to live that way because you know how fucked people are. They're going to, like, keep you alive. No, you shouldn't die. It's like, dude, I'm a motherfucking vegetable. Unplug my damn life support. For real. Honestly, that's my motto in life. As I grow older, if I cannot, this is like my number one thing. If I cannot eat, poop, like go to the bathroom, pretty much like think on my own, at least like those kind of basic things, then just end me. Like, what's the point? If I can't, like, enjoy life. You know what I mean? I can understand, like, yeah, it's like, I don't want to say that it's like, to people who, like, lose people very early, like someone gets into an accident and they become, like, a vegetable at, like, 25, like, yeah, I could see why, like, maybe there's a chance they might come back, like, if they're in a coma or something, like, they might come back. So that's why it's kind of mean to say, like, oh yeah, just kill them. If they're, like, in a coma, just kill them. That's not really what I mean. It's more so like there's gonna come a certain point where, like, you start to not be able to, like, do a lot of the things that you can do. So it's like, if I can't do basic human things, it's like, then I don't want to live anymore. It's like, if someone physically has to, like, get me out of bed, like, carry me to the bathroom just so I can go take a piss or whatever, like, I'm done. Like, there's no reason to live anymore. Like, I don't want to, first of all, I don't want to put someone through that. Like, that's just awful. Second of all, like, what do I do? Where do I go? Like, how do I enjoy life when it's like I'm just succumbed to, like, having everything done for me, Like, if it's one of those, yeah, like, if I'm like an actual full-blown adult, like, shitting into, like, a bag or a diaper, and then someone has to change me, it's like, it's just not right. Like, honestly, like, just unplug my life support, man. Like, get it over with. Fucking, give me the cyanide or whatever. I don't care. It's not worth it. Anywho. All right, we went to... we don't have... Oh, you know what? I'm assuming Restaurant Bear, we need to confirm that the drink was non-alcoholic, but I already know it was non-alcoholic. I remember, and I'm pretty sure it was called Pear Banquet. I'm pretty sure. I am 90% sure it was called Pear Banquet and 10% sure it was called Bear Banquet. But I'm 90% sure it's called Pear Banquet. They go back to Restaurant Bear, where they dined with Kosaku the night prior. Is there something here, Ryo? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she's related to this, but I want to ask about Ayane. What about her? Well, Mei and Ayane are cousins, so that means Ayane is Kosaku's niece, right? And before she left, she asked me if she'll be coming tomorrow too. So I figured that might mean Kosaku was supposed to visit his old family, the Kanashiros, or the Kodoshiros. So you think Ayane, or rather the Kodoshiro house, has something to do with Kosaku's death? I think it's possible. If Kosaku returned to Shimane to visit the Kodoshiros, it feels a bit too comfortable for him to disappear right before he sees them. So I want to look a bit deeper into the Kodoshiro family. Yes, I'd see where you're coming from, but wow, you really did read a lot of mystery novels, didn't you? I'm surprised by your deductive skills. I'll be seeking out pieces of a half-baked mystery. From now on, you may call me Chemistry. Do you want me to call you that? Never mind. As the two banter, a waiter notices the pair's suspicious behavior and approaches them. At the sight, Ryo recognizes it is the same waiter that served the table last night. Okay, good. It was a dude that served us because I gave him a dude voice. Excuse me, would you like a table for two? Oh no, so sorry. We didn't come here as customers this time. We just want to ask you something. What is it? Actually, we had dinner here last night. Do you recall a woman that sat in the table over there? I thought we were going to confirm the... Shouldn't we at least confirm the non-alcoholic beverage? I'm sure the waiter probably remembered what he served us last night. At least I hope he does. Maybe not. That's true. In this game, not everyone has some pretty good memories. I mean, shit. These two didn't even remember that he got a non-alcoholic beverage. Which, to be fair, small details like that shouldn't really matter. I mean, shit. Sometimes I don't remember what I had breakfast, like, in the morning. It might be like 6 o'clock and I don't remember what I ate for breakfast. So it's like, unimportant detail, sure, but... Still, I mean, like, I probably could remember the night prior, you know? Like, most of the time, I at least remember within, like, a 12-hour time frame, which is... We're probably working with a less than 12-hour time frame, because it was already... He was, with us at least by, 8 o'clock, because he moved to the wharf at 8:40. So up until almost probably, it was probably 8:30, 9 o'clock, he was dining with us. So if that was last night, and then... It would have been less than 12 hours later that we woke up in the morning and realized all this shit. You know what I mean? And then, he was dead, yada, yada, yada. So literally, it was only probably 12 hours ago that this happened. That we dined with him and all this happened. So it's I feel like a 12-hour time frame is a good to have a memory. You know what I mean? I feel like anything less, and it's you're really working with short-term memory hours. Which again, I guess, not everyone has a photographic scene memory and can remember everything. Because I mean, inevitably, me as the player, it's only minutes have passed, where it's again, 12 to 14 hours have passed for the actual characters. So it's it's enough time to maybe forget what you had for dinner. But anyway, I digress. Yes, I believe it was Miss Ayane Kodoshiro. That family are regulars of ours, so I happen to know her. Right, that's good. Well, apparently we were supposed to meet someone. Oh, she was supposed to meet someone, but they didn't show up. So we were asked to deliver something to that someone, but his name just slipped my mind. Do you remember who she was supposed to meet? Yes, I believe it was a one Mr. Kazuha Makita. He's an employee of the Kodoshiro family. The reservation was on his name, so I'm pretty sure it was him. Oh, right. Kazuha Makita. That was his name. Thank you. So she wasn't supposed to meet Kotsaku. Which makes sense because I mean he showed up and yeah, right. So, but she wasn't supposed to meet him. Ryo gets the name of the person Ayane was supposed to meet with. After thanking the waiter a few times, the two leave the restaurant. Well, weren't we... Dude, why didn't you fucking ask? Maybe he remembers. So that way we can clear this up later. Because I know these two were on the fence about the non-alcoholic beverage. So, like, why not ask him there? At least ask. Like, hey, do you remember what you served us last night? I'm sure he might remember. At least clear it up. And it's like, if we have any sort of witness, that'll back up our story that he didn't have any alcohol. But I guess the blood test is gonna like prove whether or not. But here's the thing that I'm thinking. If the blood test comes back that he was actually drunk, then that's not him, because he shouldn't have alcohol in his system. He did not have any alcohol last night, unless he was forced it down his throat when he went to go meet with the Kodashiros, assuming that's who he met with. So unless he drank something there, but like he didn't have alcohol in his system when he was dining with us. And I want to confirm that because again, there's the possibility that his dead body is not the one that's at the wharf right now. This could be a switcheroo. Phew, I'm surprised you were able to make that up. Oh, come on. At least we know who she's... Oh, come on. At least we know who she was waiting for. But I'm surprised. It looked like she was waiting for her boyfriend, but it was actually her family's employee. The relationship between them is curious, for sure. Yeah, there's a chance that employee was the person that called Kotsaku, too. Right. Let's look into this a bit deeper. Chemistry. What's wrong? Let's hurry up and go, chemistry. Sorry, please forget about that. Anywho. So I guess we really are waiting for the blood test. But I still, like, I at least wanted to try and confirm. Maybe we'll confirm it later. I don't know. But, like, in the back of my mind, I want to try and, like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Is there anything we can do at the lake? The Lake Shinji doesn't really seem relevant, so I feel like there might be extra stuff. Ryo stands on the banks of Lake Shinji, gazing at the serene lake's surface. Mei's tragic, tearful expression. The way Kotsaku lay limply on the the pallor of his skin. They flash back and forth, intermittently in Ryo's mind. No good. I can't gather my thoughts. At times like these, she was better off acting rather than thinking. Ryo knew this from experience, and so she decided to stop thinking about it and instead decided to set off. Had to gather our thoughts there. Stare at the... Tatake. Alright. I feel like the Kodashiro residence is, I feel like, where we're supposed to go, but... I want to check every nook and cranny. I'm trying to go places where I don't think the plot's going to progress, because there might be something extra. So. Okay. Upon returning to the inn, Ryo claps her hands together. I know. Manabe, when we were having dinner with Kotsaku, your camera was running, right? Oh, this is where we're going to learn. Huh? Yes, I left it sitting on the table, but it was on. Then that's it. If we check the footage, we'll be able to see if Kotsaku was drinking. Oh, you're right! Let's check it out. Manabe hurriedly takes out the camcorder and puts the SD card with yesterday's data in it. She then searches through the screen for a while before finding the point where the dinner party started. Ready? I'm hitting play. My, I'm quite late, aren't I? It's been so long. I missed you. Now, not in front of your friends, dear. Okay. What will you drink? Well, I'll be driving back, so I think I'll have a non-alcoholic pear banquet. I remembered. See, I know my non-alcoholic beverages. Oh, it's my standard. I love my non-alcoholic beverages. I got my Mountain Dew Baja Blast. My pear banquet Baja Blast. Synesthesia acquired. See, I didn't even need to look back at the tapes to know the damn name of the drink he ordered. Because when you're playing these games, you gotta remember everything. Even if you don't think it's a detail. Ah! He said it clearly. He took a non-alcoholic drink because he knew he'd be driving. Yeah, let's keep listening to see if he didn't order anything else to be on the safe side. Right. We kept looking until Kosaku left, but he only had more of the same drink. He didn't drink any alcohol. Right! Mei's dad wasn't the kind of person to drive drunk, after all. Okay, now I'm all fired up. Why did Kosaku go through that accident? I'll definitely get to the bottom of this. He didn't have any alcohol. So he either got ran off the road, which is less likely because of how the car's damage. It sounded like, from the way Rio explained it when we first saw the car, it didn't have any extra dents. It only had like the dents from it literally driving into the bottom of the ocean. So assuming that he wasn't like actually physically ran off the road, unless, you know, they somehow managed to run him off the road without touching the car. But it leads me to believe that I want to say they did the old like cinder block on the gas pedal, or like whoever was driving jumped out of the car before. But then again, there would have to have been a body in it, and they would have had to have been in the driver's seat. So I'm starting to confirm more that it was probably like a cinder block technique. Like they put the body in the driver's seat to make it look like the pie killed the driver. See, this young man was trying to have a slice of pie, but then he shot the pie. Fuck, I forget the stupid like the Mexican standoff skit. Damn it. It was like this young gentleman was having a slice of pie, but then he shot the pie and then set up the gun to make it look like the gun killed the pie. Just another crazy night in Wizard City or some shit like that. But no, they must have set whoever up in the car in the driver's seat to make it look like they were driving, and then put it in, you know, drive or whatever, or neutral, and pushed it off, or put it in drive and put the cinder block on the gas pedal, and woo! You know what I mean? Anywho, enough about that. I guess that's all we can probably gather here, so let's go back to Matsui. Did we revisit the pier? The wharf is full of police officers still investigating the scene. Beneath the clear sky and the serene coastline, the uniformed men are the only sign something wrong had taken place. The pleasant sunlight and wind breeze couldn't reach Rio right now. Rio simply remained silent and gazes at Kotsuku's corpse, covered by the blue sheet. Alright, I guess there was nothing else there. Manabe... Yeah, okay, so he is like a main character. Toshiro Manba. A capable police inspector with the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Public Security Bureau. Geez, that's a name. He's said to have been solved many difficult cases all over the country. His gentle smile and tone of voice has a relaxing effect. Okay, gentle smile and tone of voice. So he has a gentle voice. So yeah, I think what I kind of like, the default that I already gave him kind of works a little bit for the gentle voice. It's a relaxing effect that he skillfully uses to get information out of people. May Aoto. May Aoto. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Rio's friend from high school, who's currently in her third year of Shimane University, started living alone when she entered university. She's always had an interest in local history. She started studying Yakumo Kozumi in university. She's well versed in Shimane shrines and folklore. Once she starts talking about them, she can't stop. She's not too interested in fashion and wears plain glasses. She also has a slight tendency of letting her imagination go wild. Wait, what? What? Why is he blacked out? I guess to symbolize he's dead? But we met him. Did we not? We literally met him at the restaurant. We know what he looks like. Kotsuko Aoto, Mei's father who raised her by himself. Due to his work relations and Mei moving for university, he hasn't seen his daughter in a while. He's kind, honest businessman with a sturdy body. Yo, he's sturdy, getting sturdy. Right foot green and I walk with it. Ayane Kotoshiro, the daughter of the Kotoshiro family and niece of Kotsaku, Mei's cousin. She's innocent and friendly, but also can be stubborn and selfish. She wears her heart on her sleeve, for better or for worse. If you look closely, she resembles Mei, but she's quite different in that her fashion sense is well tuned to modern trends. Yeah, I guess you're kind of right. They do have like the same eye shape. And aside from her grin being bigger, they kind of have the same mouth shape too. Yeah, they look pretty similar. Sheiji Kotoshiro, Izumanen's second son, younger brother to Katsuku, and uncle of Mei. Loves alcohol and women, can be unreasonably violent with servants, and thus doesn't have a good reputation with his family or those around him. After the death of the Kotoshiro family head, he plans to claim the title for himself. Kazuya Makita, a young man working for the Kotoshiro household. Calm and quiet in nature, he runs errands for Kotsaku and Ryoko while also earnestly serving Ayane. But is he it as a lover or as a servant? Not even he seems to know for sure. I mean, she a baddie. I could see it. You know, honestly, though, anything for the dogs, though. Let me tell you. Anywho. You know, it's funny. When I used to work at grocery stores, part of me was like, instead of getting paid in money, I was like, you could just pay me in soda. I fucking love soda. I was like, can I just take a 24 back home every week? That shit's good. Oh, speaking of brand name beverages. All right. I think we've fiddled around enough. Let's go to the Kotoshiro residence. Let's get to the bottom of this. We gotta understand what the hell is going on with the Kotoshiros. They doing shit. I don't know what the hell they doing. They probably murdered Kotsaku. I can't say for certain, but all I could say, it definitely wasn't no drunk driving. That's for damn sure. Oh, what the hell? They really are a distinguished family. They arrive at the address Ayane gave them to find the Kotoshiro family's estate, or at least what seemed to be their estate. A white wall stretches across the entire length of the road. Walk though they might, the gate doesn't seem to come into view. There was what looked like a side entrance back there, but we couldn't go through there. Phew. Of course we couldn't. We can't enter someone else's premises from the side entrance. God, where's the main entrance? Oh God, where's the main entrance? Ryo can't help but look up to the heavens and cry out in frustration when a familiar voice reaches her ears. Oh, it's you two. Ah, Inspector Mamba. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mamba number 5. When you've already sat through 4 Mambas. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mamba number 5. Oh, you sure had a rough time. Ayane's pleasant laughter spills over Ryo and Manabe, who are absolutely dripped with sweat. Yo, they dripping? Dude, that's literal ice. You're dripping. Well, thanks, man. No! 10 minutes later. Ryo and Manabe finally find the main gate, after which they are greeted and ushered by Ayane. God, we would have walked right past here if it weren't for Inspector Mamba. I had business here too, so I guess it worked out well. Apparently, if you had gone the other way, just a bit from here, where you'd first arrived, you'd be at the front gate. You went the whole way around. I'm the type that always picks the wrong answer. All right. Who do we start with? I mean, I'm kind of more curious as to get his scoop on the case. By the way, why did you come here for a house call, Inspector Manba? Didn't you say this morning that your stance in this is the case is an accident? About that, the results of Mr. Katsuko's blood tests came from forensics. They found no traces of alcohol consumption. Okay, so it's looking more like that actually is him dead. There were no traces. Oh, but also we could confirm that. We didn't even need to look at the tapes to confirm that. But it's true. So he in truth. Well, and here's the thing. It could still potentially be a switcheroo, but they would have to switch him out with someone who hasn't had alcohol. So, but I don't want to throw that theory out just yet. But at least we can confirm for certain that this is not a drunk driving accident, and he was most likely murdered by someone. If my hunch is correct, this is some kind of plot to murder him case. I'm not always right about everything, but I feel like the facts are there. I knew it. May said so. Yes, in which case we must investigate this as an incident. Of course, we're also investigating the possibility that this was an accident as well. So I came here to question the resident of this house. I see. If nothing else, the police admit that he wasn't drunk driving. That's great, May. He wasn't drunking drive. Anything else? Assuming Katsuka's death wasn't an accident, do you think it has to do with the family's secession feud? Given my position, it's hard to answer that question here. We need to consider all the possibilities for the time being. I suppose. But given the timing of his death, it only makes sense to assume that it has to do with the secession feud. Anyway, you wanted to talk to Mom, right? Yeah, and to Senji, who's set to be the next heir. Oh, if you only came a bit sooner. The secession ritual's already started. Secession ritual? What's that exactly? The person who's to be the next head shuts themselves off in a room and prays to the Kotoshira Nushi. Like, giving their regards. Can you hear it? This chanting? True enough, Riho could hear chanting echoing from the depths of the estate. Riho assumed it was the Kama Sutra, since the former head of the family passed away, but it seemed that this is not the case. Now that you mention it, yes, I have been hearing it ever since we came in. I think it's called the Ebisu chant, a ritual that's been going on for generations when the family head changes. Don't think too hard about it. So doing that ritual means you're officially acknowledged as the new head. Yeah, Uncle Seiji has been refusing to eat eggs and chicken meat because of the ritual. Apparently Kotoshira Nushi hates those foods or something. He's been gung-ho about taking over the new head even before Uncle Kotsaku, the eldest son, died. I don't know, man. I'm just saying the pieces are lining up, but I can't confirm for certain if this truly was like a family deed or if it was just some outside force. I mean, shoot, to the last case, like, thinking that Kuromochi murdered his wife because of revenge was actually wrong. He murdered her because he ran out of money and he was just killing her for insurance. So, which is a little fucked up. You know, and honestly though, I didn't really go into detail about that because, like, Akari wasn't really an innocent party in that. You know, for as much as I said, like, oh man, that's messed up. Like, you know, like, like that she died. Like, you know, oh, like, how could you do that? How could you kill someone? But it's like, I mean, she did cheat. She was literally cheating on her husband. You know what I mean? Like, that's wrong. You're not supposed to do that. Like, marriage is supposed to be like an eternal vow. So, like, having an affair with someone is like a really bad thing. I know a lot of people just think nothing of it, but I think it's different when you're like boyfriend and girlfriend cheating. I mean, it's still wrong, but like once you've married someone and then you still do it, like you have an affair, like that's really wrong because like now all the pledges, the vows that you made to this person, you lied about. You lied to them and You know, if you're really religious and you like bring God in your life or some kind of God into your life, like you're lying to them, because usually you swear like under God that you will, you know, do everything in your power to keep this person safe, love them, cherish them, and, you know, all in good health, whatever the fuck the actual saying is. But yeah, like it was bad. So I can't say that Akari was like an innocent party. Like, I could see why someone would want, you know, like your husband, like if you found out that, I mean, it's an extreme measure, but I understood Kuramochi and wanting, if he was truly like killing her for like revenge for cheating. Like, I can't say that I totally don't understand that. Like, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, I get it. I mean, it's an extreme measure to take. I would never like murder someone because I like hate them or whatever, or out of revenge. But, like, I get where he's coming from. But then when he said, like, oh, no, he was just after insurance money, it's like, what the fuck? Like, that completely flips my perspective of Kuramochi as a character now. Like, now he's just an asshole. Like, he's just a scumbag. Like, you could have told me that you killed your wife because she fucking cheated on you, and that would have made so much sense. And I would have, like, respected that and understood that. But then when you say, like, oh, no, man, I just ran out of money, so I killed my wife for insurance, it's like, what the fuck? And that's kind of what I just brought, like for, like, a woman, like, I mean, yeah, she's not a very loyal one, but, like, for a baddie like that to, like, kill her over insurance money, I'm like, damn, that kind of sucks, man. Like, I mean, she is a baddie, like, don't get me wrong, like, but I don't know. I don't think people should deserve to be murdered over insurance money. I would have understood it more, but I just, because I didn't really go into detail, but, like, I just want everyone here to know that, like, Akari wasn't like an innocent party. I'm not like here to say that like, oh man, she deserves happiness and love and she should have an affair with her husband because he's like 2 decades older than her or whatever. It's like, and also thinking on it, the fact that she did marry someone who was 2 decades over, you can't help but think that some of it was due to money. But the fact that Kuramochi didn't have money, well, that could be the thing, because maybe she married Kuramochi and then like pretty much ran his surplus dry. It could have been a leading factor as to like why he ran out of money, because maybe she was probably like asking for things or something, you know what I mean? Because like I can't say that she's like a full innocent party. It's really hard to convince me that like you're marrying someone who's literally like 20 years older than you, that like not for money, like you just truly love that person. It's really hard to convince the world that like that's just love, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of weird aspects to it, but you know, there's nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, you're both fucking consenting adults. If you want to get into a relationship with someone like that, that is completely on you, and I'm not gonna judge you for it. But I'm just saying, society is really gonna look at you, you know, like if a 20-year-old marries like a fucking 80-year-old, like come on. There's maybe, just maybe, you could probably convince society that like 10% of it is because you actually love that person. But most of your motives are going to be like, oh, I'm marrying into money, I'm marrying into status. There's a lot of people like that. I don't know too many people that actually like find people who are like decades older than them attractive. And like they actually love them, you know what I mean? Which I guess, speaking of, like, you know, I mean, I don't mind someone older than me. And personally, it's like, I genuinely think like the peer range is completely acceptable. Like, I don't bat an eye if you're within like peer range of someone. You know what I mean? Like 5 years. I give 5 years. Like, I don't bat an eye for anyone who's like has an age gap of 5 years. I think that's completely normal and fine. I mean, that's literally like your peer range, like the people that you have friends with. And it's like, to me, I want my significant other to be my best friend, like my literal best friend. Or at least like a really, really, really good friend, you know what I mean? I don't know how to, but I would expect us to be like really, you know, share hobbies, you know, support each other, whatever, like just be really good friends. But just, you know, to a further extent that we're lovers as well. So that's just kind of how I see it. So like, I'd be completely fine either direction. Like within the peer range, I'm completely fine with it, to me personally. But I know a lot of people like raise eyebrows if the person that you're in love with is not the exact same fucking age as you. It's like, oh, which like, getting into it, it's like, that just, like, narrows down the list of people, like, to the point where you're never gonna find anyone. If you're the type of person that's like, oh, I have to marry someone the same age as me, like, you're never gonna find anyone. Like, that closes so many doors if you find it weird that, like, the person you're, like, in love with is, like, a year or two older than you. You know what I mean? Like, it closes so many fucking doors. Like, imagine trying to find and fall in love with someone that literally was born on the exact same year, on the exact same month, on the exact same day, at the exact same time. Like, it's impossible. So there is always going to be some kind of age gap, unless, again, you were born on the exact same year, exact same month, exact same day, exact same time. Like, there is going to be some kind of age gap. I'd be very shocked if you can have that age gap within a day. But, like, at some point, your significant other is probably older or younger than you. There's no in between. Like, they're going to be at, like, some form of older or younger than you. I'm just saying. I don't know. I kind of got off on, like, a huge ass tangent, but I just wanted to, like, readdress the Kuramochi case and just, like, I know it's weird to, like, bring it up now that we're in, like, a new case, but, like, I don't think I really went into depth in it, and I just wanted to let you know that, like, my morals should have brought up the fact that, like, Akari was not innocent. I'm not the type of person that just simps because women. Like, she was in the wrong, too. Like, she should not have cheated. Like, she was cheating on her husband with a different guy long before she was killed. Like, they were already seeing each other. Like, shit, he bought her a damn necklace. Like, come on. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just... Not everyone's innocent. And I ain't no simp. If you're an asshole, I don't like you. Alright. Let's get back to it. Is there anything else you can tell me? Then what about everyone else? Seiji is busy with the ritual, so maybe we can talk to Ryoko. You can't right now. Other candidates for the position of family head are to stay in an antechamber until the ritual ends. I see. An assistant in the ritual, Kazuha, has to be on standby near the selection room. Oh, seclusion room, too. He must be bored stiff. It's a good thing he showed up. Anyway, the ritual should be over in less than an hour from now, so sit tight till then. Yeah, I guess we might as well wait for it to end. I'm a bit pressed for time, so may I at least question Mr. Kazuha? Yes, he's only on standby, so you can speak to him. Go ahead. Oh, good. I'll be right over then. Mamba waves at Ryo and leaves the parlor. Sure is hot today. Ayane complains while flapping her blouse top to fan herself. Hey, you want some ice cream? I've got some in the back. You don't need to fuss over us. Oh, come on. I didn't mean it like that. Just want to eat some. But I can't eat it alone, can I? If that's the case, maybe we should have some. What do you say, Manabe? Yes, I'll come too. I'll have some too. Now we're talking. Give me a sec. I'll bring it over. Popsicles are the best. I didn't expect you to eat something so common. It's all about the taste, you know? Plus, at this season, it's all about popsicles. The three of them relaxed as they ate the ice cream Ayane brought over. Ryo's been stressed and mentally strange since this morning, so she finally gets a chance to relax. However... So wait, did someone else just die? Huh? A hoarse scream echoes through the estate, tearing the relaxing moments to shreds. Sweet, someone else is dead. It's just like the Kuramochi residence. It came from over there! That scream just now, was that Seiji's voice? Ryo and the others hurry down the long corridor. Halfway through the corridor, they find Mamba knocking on a large wooden door. Kazuha is standing behind him. That was apparently the ritual room where Seiji had shut himself in. Mr. Seiji! Mr. Seiji, what happened? God, why wouldn't you open the door? During the ritual, the door is locked from the inside with a bolt. Mr. Seiji, answer me! Mr. Seiji! In that case. Mamba tackles the wooden door a few times. After several rammings, the wooden door comes off its frame and Mamba stumbles into the room. And they find... Yup. Alright, so... this looks like some kind of hired assassin is like killing all the heads. So it's someone else who wants the head of the house. Because they just killed 2 of the successors. So there's a third party interested in being the head of the house that I think is committing these murders or hiring someone to commit these murders. Because damn, it looks like he got shot with a dart or whatever, or like an arrow. He got shot with a crossbow. God damn. Seiji is lying on the floor face down with an arrow pierced into his back. Below the wooden floor Mamba rammed open is a crossbow that presumably shot that arrow. No good. He's dead! Mamba placed a hand on the nape of Seiji's neck and informs them with a severe expression. Looking down at him, Ryo whispers to Manabe. Manabe, record this. Huh? Hurry! Yes. Manabe hurriedly takes out her camcorder and records the state of the room. Reflected in the viewfinder was Seiji's motionless form. Manabe could already tell that he had been completely passed on. Or he had completely passed on. But if he was shot in the back, there must have been someone else in the room, unless it was set up. That is very interesting. Ordinarily, you can't really shoot yourself in the back. So unless it was a setup or someone else was in the room, but then where would they have gone? Especially since the door was locked from the outside. So they had to have been inside and then somehow left after the room became unlocked. It's like our locked room mystery in Danganronpa. It's the first time I've ever had so much happen in just one day. I'd imagine most people in Japan don't experience something like this in their entire lives. You'd bet, but I got a couple of people on the other side of the story that have already experienced this. So the two converse rather monotonously. I've never heard that word. Monotonously, owing to fatigue. After the whole incident took place, Mamba told them the place was off limits, and Ryo and Manabe returned to the Miho Inn. I guess this is a serial murder case. If nothing else, Seiji's death was definitely murder. The fact Kotsaku didn't have any alcohol in his blood does make his death more suspect. But in Seiji's case, the seclusion room was locked. It was a closed-room murder. I jotted down a diagram where everyone was when Seiji screamed. See? It looks like this. The exit leading out of the corridor from the seclusion room is clearly visible from the opposite room, and Kazuo was on standby to help with the ritual was there, along with Inspector Mamba. True, even if we'd assumed Kazuo was lying, Inspector Mamba was right there with him. And Ryoko was in this room. It only had one entrance too, so she'd need to pass by the parlor we were in to reach the seclusion room. We didn't see her though, and Ayane was with us. We all have alibis for when it happened. So, this is another incident. Maybe the arrow misfired for some reason? That's weird too. Imagine 2 candidates to this position of the family head dying, both of them from accidents. Well, then we'll have to snoop around some more. You're still trying to find the truth for Mei's sake, right? Right. Let's keep going a bit further with this. Yes, we're already a part of this, so let's see it through to the end. Well, hot diggity damn! We got another case to solve, man! Well, I think this is all just related to the same case, but obviously some kind of third party is interested in being the head. So I don't know who that would be. Maybe someone else from the family that we've already met. Maybe someone else from the family we haven't met. Maybe some other uninterested outside the family third party. I don't know. Because maybe this could be like another clan party, like family member, coming in to just like throwing the Kotoshira family in shambles. So I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, we need to uncover more clues.